Hello everyone, welcome to Lockdown Sees World. Today we talk about what China and America have been vying for. For the past recent years, China and America have been engaged in conflicts and confrontations. From trade wars to high tech, from Huawei to TikTok, from COVID-19 to airline flights, from Xinjiang cordon to Hong Kong demonstrations. From South China Sea to Taiwan Strait, from regional clashes to global hotspots. Then what are China and America vying for? Actually, it can be concluded from the following 6 perspectives. First is national interests, the second national power, the third is national privilege, fourth the ways of choice, fifth is a different race. Sixth is civilization clash. First, about the national interests. Hustles and bustles purpose only for benefits and interests. It is true for social and also true to international relations. National interests are the principle and foundation for relations among nations, a guideline and purpose for the foreign policy. After Second World War, American interests have been global. Wherever something happened, if America believes it's necessary or its interest concern, it would involve anyway in peace or in force. For long, the military strategy of the United States has focused on the readiness for 2 wars and a half. Simultaneously, with one war in Europe, like the Russo-Ukraine War, and the other in Indo-Pacific, such as Korean Peninsula, Taiwan Strait, South China Sea, or Indian Ocean. The another half that is in anywhere of the world, such as the Middle East, Palestinian, the Israel conflict, or the Red Sea crisis. In Americans' view, China's Taiwan issue concerns the security of the West Pacific area, so it is a part of American interests. After New China since 1949, its national interests have mainly focused on its independence, security, stability, and development. For Taiwan issue that left from the Civil War, China first advocated to liberate by force. And the defeated nationalist Republic of China insisted on taking back the lost mainland China. With time goes, Beijing put forward peaceful reunification with 2 systems. Yet the government Taiwan is more inclined for independence. Taiwan issue is China's internal affairs as a key issue to China. Consensus to the 1.4 billion Chinese people. Not any possibility for Taiwan's independence. No matter which way American would involve by mediation, sanction, military assistance, or sending troops. And China will never give in or give up on this issue. The second is national power. Since 1894, America's GDP surpassed that of the Great Britain and became the largest economy, which America had kept it for 130 years until today without being overtaken. In 1898, the stronger America waged war on Spain and acquired Cuba, Puerto Rico, Philippines, Hawaii, yet it didn't engage in struggle with the still powerful empires of Britain and France until it made great fortunes after First World War and became a hegemon after the Second World War. Since 1894 to 1945, when it overtook Britain and turned to be the leader of the Western world, America had been waiting for its day for about 50 years with its great power. This experience is very helpful to China. Even if one day in the future China catches up with America or surpass its national output, it doesn't necessarily mean that China is the most powerful country, and it still needs to build up in its comprehensive powers. China, as a big country, had witnessed its own ups and downs in history for the past 21 dynasties. Even in middle and latter period of the Qing dynasty, China's GDP still overtook 30% of the world output. Yet, after the Industrial Revolution in the West, China saw its wider gap to the world. After 1949, and China focused on building its own heavy industry, and with the reform and opening policy since 1979, the 40-year rapid development made China the second largest economy. And almost 70% America's output, which greatly challenges the global dominance of the United States. The third is national privilege. After the Second World War, and America became the leader of the Western world, and during the confrontations in the Cold War, America and the Soviets were the two superpowers. And with the collapse of the Soviets, America was left the sole global hegemon among the other powers. Currently, America has demonstrated some signs of national power decline. It still maintains its hegemony with all means available, prevents the other competitors, especially Russia and China, to rise and challenge its predominance. China has been a great power in East Asia and in the world for more than 2,000 years since its reunification in Qing dynasty. The Chinese Empire, then at the Roman Empire, were standing gloriously at the east and the west of the world. China has been regarded as a heavenly kingdom, a suzerain that enjoyed tributes from subordinate small states around, that all the lands and the sun belongs to my king. All the people in the world are my king's subject. At the latter period of Qing dynasty, China declined national power and lost its former privilege in the world. After New China in 1949, it joined the Soviet bloc as a socialist country. Later, with Sino-US relations improved, China played an important role in the triangle relations among China, America, and the Soviet. Right now, as the second largest economy, China has increased its global leverages and influences. Fourth is a way of choice. America has been long for the so-called beacon of world freedom, leader of the Western world, and speaker of democracy and freedom, a keeper of market economy, and rule by law. The only way of choice of development and the future of the world. Cold War after Second World War was actually the conflict between the system of Western capitalism and socialism. With Soviet's collapse and the failure of the Eastern European socialism, the end of history seemed concluded that China would follow the same way of Soviet and the East Europe. Yet to the contrary, China's reform and opening policy is a socialist market economy, and its own way of choice has kept its rapid development for 40 years. Even in 2008, when America suffered financial crisis and the world economy stagnated, China kept its growth and successfully held the Olympic Games. China has made great progresses in its economy and development, which cannot be denied. Yet its way of choice might be the only proper way for China rather than for other different countries to copy. Fifth is the race. The United States is a country of immigrants. It composes of all races and ethnic groups, in which the Chinese are 1.7%, Spanish and African Americans are 14% of each. White people, the Anglo-Saxons, are 65%. The mainstream of American society. That's the reason for the white supremacy racism. Since Columbus time and the great discovery of the new continent, European immigrants from Spain, France, British, Germany continuously came to America, and the 13 colonies got independent from the Great Britain. With its Western forward movement, and it acquires more lands from the indigenous Indians and made today's America. In history, America had passed several exclusion acts against Chinese immigrants, prevented the Chinese from taking over job positions from European immigrants. For Chinese people were not regarded as the same race or as people in America. China is the birthplace for Chinese culture and the descendant of dragon, and consists of 56 ethnic groups as a big family. With black hair, black eyes, and yellow skin, belongs to a yellow race or Mongolian race. In ancient time, China developed from farmland civilization and was called the Middle Kingdom, the center of the world surrounded by the uncivilized savages. With foreign invasions, the white people were labeled as West Coast and the Japanese as East Coast. Sino-US relations were always being regarded as a conflict between East and the West. The sixth is civilization clash. American culture mainly originated from Western civilization, such as the ancient Greek or Roman Empire, the city-states, commerce, culture, and the Blue Ocean civilization, characterized with compact agreements, business cooperation, self-interest, and individualism. That after industrial revolutions, European powers colonized around the world in the name of civilization and progresses, meanwhile with blood and empire expansion. After Second World War, with national independence, liberation, and breakup of the colonial system, America and Europe have taken the symbol of democracy and freedom due to their parliamentary system and power check and balance. Chinese civilization is based on the Confucianism that advocates hierarchy, obedience, collectivism, and personal sacrifice. Its ideology of authoritarianism has long been recognized and promoted by the ruling class and gradually merged into the social and cultural tradition of China and the East Asia. After China's defeat in the Opium War, Confucianism had been doubted and criticized by the new generation. With China's national power increased, Confucianism once again becomes the core of its belief. In Sino-US relations, the difference in reasoning, value orientation, and in resolution demonstrates the divergence of the civilizations. Sino-US relations not only reviewed from the diplomatic negotiations or summit meeting, but also from national interests, power, privilege, ways of choice, race, and the civilizations. Here comes the end of today's program. Thank you for your watching and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.